It's S. Welcome to my morning ritual daily practice journal. I'm going to give you a little peek inside and show you how I use it. So first I'm going to just go through the monthly pages, and all you have to do is just tap to get through each tab. You also, when you're doing this, you want to make sure that you have this right here selected. So now I'm going to go to my note pages and I'll show you those. So we have blank notes, dot grid notes. You can just tap on this little flower to take you there and to take you back. Lined notes. Okay, so if I'm in January, I'm just going to slide over here to the next page. Now, this will depend on how you have your GoodNotes set up. I have mine set up so I can just slide over. However, if yours is set to scroll up and down, then you would need to scroll up. So I'm going to now show you how I date my page. And this is totally an unnecessary step. This is just what I like to do. So I'm going to use my pen tool here. I like to use red because it will be, the color will show up pink. You first want to make sure that you go to draw and hold and that your snap to other shapes is enabled. And for what I'm about to show you here, you could also use the shapes tool. Either one is fine. So you just draw a circle or an oval, and I hold it, undo, and that'll give me the little circle there that I want. Now I'm using my lasso tool. I'm going to make it just a little bit bigger. This is not something that I have to do often. I usually get it the size. That I want it, but for the demonstration, of course, it ended up being too small. That's how things work sometimes. So that's perfect size for me. And if it were off center, I would just use my lasso tool to move it wherever I want. Okay, so I personally just do this every day, but you could also lasso it, tap, add element, and you can add it to any of your collections, or you can start a new collection. So I will just call this new. Create, and that's done for me. So if I do my first entry today, and let's say it's more than one page, I would slide over, I would tap, I have a bunch of these. So I would then just lasso it. Now, of course, you could just drag it up if you wanted to, just drag it up without lassoing it. But usually because it is so small, I would actually end up accidentally resizing it. So I just like to use the lasso tool so that it stays the same size, and I also don't accidentally delete it. Okay, so we're gonna say this is the second day, or the second page for January 1st. Now, this journal I like to call an ADHD friendly journal, and that's because you manually input your days. So let's say I skipped a few days. It was the 1st, so now it's the 5th, right? So I'll just draw it again this time. I'm going to date it for today, which would be the 5th. I'm going to center this just a little bit more and maybe move it a little bit more. Okay, that's good enough. So I'm going to write on this with a different color. Okay, so my last entry was on the 1st, and now I'm on the 5th. And as you see, there are no gaps in between my pages. And that's what makes it ADHD friendly. A lot of times journals will come and they are dated for you, where you can either each page is already dated or there's a hyperlink to jump to the date. I intentionally did not do that with this planner because I don't like to see the gaps in my planner when I slide back and forth and I look at my entries. Because let's say if today we're the 5th and then I didn't do another entry until the 7th. So this is the 6th, the 7th, or let's even say I'm gonna go 8th, 9th, the 9th. So let's say that this were the 9th. Now, if this page were dated or if I used a hyperlink to get to that page, and if I just want to slide through my journal, I'm going to see all of these blank pages. And so what that does for an ADHD like me, sometimes when we see blank pages, it's a reminder that we forgot something or that we are not maybe keeping commitments to ourselves that we promised, oh, I'm going to write in my journal every day, but I've missed a day. And it just sometimes induces shame. So I just wanted to keep the journal where it's encouraging. It's intended to be a daily practice, but if you miss a day or a few, no big deal. But at least this way, when you slide through your pages, there aren't going to be blanks. You're just going to see your entries there. Okay. So now let me show you how to add a page. So we're going to say that if we were at the end of January and we needed more pages because we used more than the 31 days that are included in the planner for January. So if I needed an additional page, like let's say, okay, I wrote on this, now I need another page. So if I just slide over, it's going to take me to February. So what I want to do then is I want to go to the plus sign and I'm going to add the current template, and it is after the current page. So I just tap there and voila, I have a new page. Okay. So another little thing that you can do is, let's say I'm going to go to my notes section. So if I were in my notes section and I'm going to say, I'm just going to go to my line notes. Let's say I made this page where it's maybe passwords. And so I want to easily be able to get to this page. So what I can do is bookmark it here. And then when I tap right here, it's going to show me all of my thumbnails. But if I just want to see my bookmarked pages, I can just go here and you can unbookmark anything if you want. And now let's say this page is, like I said, it's passwords. So maybe I have a bunch of different favorites up. So I want to easily be able to get to this page without having to look at all of the pages that I have favorited. So what I would do then is I would tap there and I go to add page to outline. So we'll just call this page passwords or password. It's fine. So I'll add that. And so now, and let me just bookmark a few additional pages so you can just see the difference. So if I go into favorites, I've got all of these pages. It includes my outline, but if I have a bunch of pages here and I don't want to look through all of them, like for instance, if I had it where there were more pages that were bookmarked, I would then have to sort through all the pages to figure out which one it is. So it's easier to just go to outlines. So anything that I just need to get to right away, I can find it there. So you can, as you saw, you can bookmark it from the page that you're on, or you can bookmark it from here. Go to thumbnails and you just tap on it. Okay, and if you are in your notes section, another way to add an additional page, because the notes section is the last section of the journal. Even though the tab is up here, it's really behind December. So if we were at the last page of our notes, you could just slide. You could just slide and it'll ask you if you want. Sometimes it'll ask you if you want to add an additional page, but right now it's just adding the page. So it depends. If it asks you, do you want to add a page, you just tap yes, or you just keep sliding and you'll have additional pages. So you can see we started out where there were only 2. You can only do that in the at the end of the planner. Everywhere else you'll need to tap to add a page. And you can add a page before if you want. So it just depends on, how you're using it. But that's pretty much it. It's a really simple journal to use, and I really enjoy using it. I love the design. I had originally made this journal with kind of the same aesthetic, sort of, but it looked a little bit different. So I just learned some new little tricks on how to up-level my journal. So I went ahead and redesigned it, and I just really love the new aesthetic of this one. And it's got like a little piece of vellum here. And so I hope that you will enjoy using it as much as I do. And if you check in the, I'll leave a link for you to get to my Etsy page. I currently don't have a website, but when I do, I'll have that updated. And by the time that this video is up, there will probably also be a code that you can scan to take you straight to my Etsy page. So thank you for watching, and have a fabulous day.